Hey folks, this is Chris Lucas of TheProtestantView.com. I'm also known on YouTube as Liquid Smooth because I used to DJ, still do when I can. And I also got another channel on YouTube known as The Protestant View. Anyway, today, do a little video about a few shills, or controlled opposition, and the alternative media, truth movement, whatever you want to call it. And one of them is this guy, Eric Phelps, and I've gotten into some battles with people on YouTube over Eric Phelps because they want to keep insisting that, oh, this guy's so truthful and he's exposing the Jesuits. And I get into it with this one guy especially, Universe6807, who posts a lot of videos, but he also posts a lot of disinfo, and I'll get into that. But I mean, he accused me of being a Vatican disinfo agent or Jesuit and stuff, and I mean, just outright lies, no evidence, just outright lying. And his comments on my page, just like saying I'm from something about Maryland and some Jesuit university. I can't remember off the top of my head. And he posted this comment, so I gotta bash him a little bit in this video. And like I'm just doing this just to open people's eyes, and let's get started. Eric Phelps, supposedly, this guy that exposes Ron Paul. And, folks, I think Ron Paul's a scumbag, because let's be honest, he helped get, he still brags to this day about getting Reagan elected, about helping Reagan get elected. And so when people say, oh, Ron Paul's been so good for 30 years. Well, wait a minute, 30 years ago, this is the year 2013, so 30 years ago would be 1980, the 1980s? 1980, Reagan. Oh, wait a minute, you helped Reagan get elected? Wait a minute, so 30 years ago, you were helping get Reagan elected? So you actually don't have a 30-year history of, being so good. You helped get Reagan elected. Okay? And folks, there's lots of things scumbaggish about Reagan, okay? Because first of all, that Iran-Contra affair, you armed the Contras that were fighting the Sandistas. Well, the Sandistas just didn't want Catholic rule. All that stuff about communism and all that stuff, dude, that's just a bunch of stuff that they drummed up to make people think it was okay to kill the Sandistas. Because, what happened once the once Reagan funded the Contras? Well, hey, a Catholic leader got installed, didn't it? So, so, I mean, you gotta wonder about that whole Iran-Contra affair. I still don't know all the facts, but I just know just from what I gather, it seems like the leader of the Sandistas was, now, I'm not sure how like, biblical his, teachings were, or his ideals were, but I mean, I have read that, he believed in keeping the Sabbath. And a lot of your Sabbath keepers are very hardcore about it. And well, there are Sabbath keepers out there that are pretty hardcore about exposing the Catholic Church. And it could be that they really, really, really did not want anything to do with the Catholic Church ruling them. Because I know that was definitely a big issue of the Sandistas. And here you got Reagan, who removed laws so a Vatican embassy could be created. Laws that existed after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And why were these laws put in place? Because it was proven that the Vatican had a hand in Lincoln's assassination. All 10 co-conspirators of Lincoln's assassination were Roman Catholic. And John Surratt, who helped Wilkes Booth, was found hiding in a Catholic monastery and even worked as the Pope's bodyguard. or was working as the Pope's bodyguard. So, you know, here the Vatican knows the United States is looking for this person, and they're helping hiding this criminal. And this known criminal. So, and here's Reagan. He's removing these laws. And they're supposedly fighting communists. Even though when James Aiken Wiley's, I think it's Wylies. No, wait a minute, it's just Wylie. James Aiken Wiley. He wrote this book about the papal hierarchy, and he wrote this back in the late 1800s. And he talked about how the Vatican actually controls the communists and controls a lot of these organizations, and how the Vatican manipulates them all for its own gain. And so it's like this whole Reagan and the Pope uniting to fight communists. This is all just smoke screens. Just like now they keep drumming up all Islamists, those Muslim terrorists, and they're blowing things up. And folks, it's a smoke screen. But anyway, because a smoke screen. So you're paying more attention to that than you are looking at the Vatican's hand in things. Anyway, as you can see, I'm on Liberty Radio Live. Now, this site is the top promoter of Eric John Phelps, who's supposed to be this expert, this Jesuit expert, an expert at exposing the Jesuits and stuff. Okay, odd thing is, ironic thing is, Eric Phelps supposedly exposed Ron Paul as a Freemason, right? So he's saying Ron Paul's like this bad guy. But why are you, Eric Phelps, promoting the same people Ron Paul's promoting? You're basically promoting the same teachings Ron Paul's promoting. Some of you are like, huh? And I will show you. Let's go to Shop L. I thought that was going to pop up. Okay. Let's see here. Because on the shop, you used to see this one video. Let me see if I can find it. It might still be here. Well, that's interesting. Well, anyway, Liberty Radio Live and First Amendment Radio are the same programs, and they both, maybe let me try First Amendment. First Amendment Radio. Because they're both ran by Nicholas Arthur. And let me see if I can find it. Well, right here you can see, okay, maybe I had the wrong website, but they're both, as you can see, they look at the exact same. They're both ran by Nicholas Arthur, right? And these are some of their speakers they get on here. And as you can see, Eric John Phelps. So this is one of the main sites he goes on. Now, I wonder where their shop went though. Because used to, you could go to their shop. And they had like the War of Northern Aggression. And it's by John Weaver. So maybe they finally took it down because I made such a fuss about it. But I was like, well, John Weaver See, I know John Weaver from when I was in the Constitution Party. And John Weaver used to get up there and basically say all the exact same stuff that Ron Paul promotes. And Ron Paul's buddies who are doing his homeschool curriculum, which is ran entirely by Roman Catholics. Tom Woods, Gary North, and they even said, you know what, like Gary North wrote something back in, I think, like 2008, you know, what every parent wants, what every Protestant parent wants, you know, a Catholic homeschool curriculum, something like that. And it's like, no, I don't want that. Like, no real Protestant wants that. You know, especially when Thomas DiLorenzo, from the University of Loyola, who is nothing but an economicist, but yet, you know, various alternative stations like the American View, which is ran by Michael Peruka, who ran for the president of the Constitution Party, and Michael Peruka went to the University of Loyola. And now you got DiLorenzo from the University of Loyola, a Jesuit, who wrote all this book with all this false stuff about Lincoln in it. Then, you know, and then so why? And basically, John Weaver and DiLorenzo say all the same things, and yet here, First Amendment Radio used to sell this DVD of John Weaver's. So, I mean, Eric Phelps is such an expert, so well read in all this. Why didn't he catch this? Now, this is driving me crazy. You know what? I bet I can find First Amendment Radio. Let's see here. John Weaver. Okay, now right here, you can see that on firstamendmentradio.net that they do have that John Weaver. John Weaver right there. Aha, here we are, First Amendment Radio. So I guess what he has is he has he has a .com and a .net. So he's got a First Amendment Radio.net, and these are all Nicholas Author's sites. And as we go down here, right here it is, War of Federal Aggression DVD, John Weaver. He doesn't set the record straight, he sets it pretty crooked, because he sets it the same way Ron Paul and all of Ron Paul's buddies set it. So this is my problem with a Nicholas Author. See, you're on right here, you even have a link, so just to let you folks know, even though it says net up here, net and .com are both all the same, both owned by Nicholas Author. And I have told these people about this. They still keep putting it right on up here. You know, I have done videos about this, and you still have people promoting Eric Phelps. And it's like, why? I have pointed out he gets a lot wrong. You know, you had Walter Faith. You know, it's like I pointed out stuff on the site, and I wasn't even trying to be mean to Walter Faith. I mean, at the time, I even donated and bought a DVD set from him. But I said, hey, Walter, I noticed you promoting Eric Phelps. Did you know about all this? And I listed all this stuff. And you know what? They censored me on Walter Faith's site. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm done, you know? Because it's like, you're a shill, you're covering for him. You're not, like, because there's nothing in that, in the comments I stated that you could prove wrong. You couldn't even prove them wrong. So they just erase them. So I'm letting you folks know these shows go pretty deep and they're pretty broad. You know, they cover a wide area of people. Okay, and here it goes. You know what I mean? I tried telling Universe6807. Instead, he censors me and blocks me from commenting on his videos. Why? I didn't say nothing wrong. See, but he's supposed to be so much about the truth. But I never said nothing wrong. You can't prove this wrong. It's right on the website. Right there it is. Right in your face. In your face, you shill. In your face. I mean, you are a Jesuit, probably. You probably are. Because why are you pushing so much disinfo? Why? Why are you attacking me? I have never said any disinfo. All I have done is set the truth, put the truth out there. That's all I've done, and I get attacked. You know, folks, these people get donations. You give Phelps money. You give like, I mean, all these different people, man, get money. But I mean, my site doesn't get money. No one donates to it. I mean, I'm putting all the, and I could do better videos, folks. I mean, if that's your problem, but I cannot work a job loading trucks all day, come home, and then work on videos for 10 hours because I gotta have sleep at some point. My wife needs me to do things around the house. I mean, I make what videos I can. And it's like, I mean, really, folks, because I've gotten, yelled at by people, oh, your videos are garbage or amateurish, all this. Well, you know what? No one donates to me. I'm doing this all on my own. I've already invested at least like $4 or $5 grand of my own money, running a website and stuff. And then it's like, I get hacked. Hackers attack it, destroy my site. And folks, and like, I don't have a lot of extra time to get my site back up and get all these links running again and all this other stuff. My site's still recovering from the last hacker attack. It's like, and everyone just keeps giving these people money, and hating on me, and I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. And it gets kind of frustrating. And now I want to let's go ahead and get into Universe6807. Does he even lie? Yes, he does lie. Right here's one of his lies he's telling. JFK murdered by his wife. The Jesuit assassin. Why is he pushing this? See, right here he's talking. Now let's watch. I just want to get to the shooting. You guys can watch this video. You can see which video it is. Yeah, you know what, folks? Before he even this frame's even shown, see, he's shown it after her hand's already down on his chest. I want to see if we can find a real clear video. You can see that before. I'll mute this. Before JFK gets shot. Now he keeps. Now here's Universe6807. He kept saying. And you can go watch this video if you want to see exactly what he says. But he says, Jacqueline, Kennedy's wife, shot Kennedy, right? He keeps saying that. Says she's a. But if you watch her hand, it's empty. Right before she puts it on his chest, it's empty. See, folks, her right hand's empty. You can see that. It's grabbing his elbow. Look at this other hand of hers. It's reaching out, empty, empty. Her hand is empty. It's grabbing his arm, right? She's just holding his arm. Gets dragged closer. She bends down to ask him something. And she was holding his arm as she's bending down. And someone shoots him. She did not shoot him. Her hand was empty. And I've had a couple of people try to show me this. But see, he starts it right from here. If you notice on Universe6807's video. And I got kind of mad because it's like, a pastor support start promoting Universe6807. Well, I got an issue with you if you support him after I do this video. Because right here, he starts the video out here. Now, it looks, see, when you start it out here, her hand's down here, and you can say, oh, look, it looks like she's pointing a gun at his head. Right? Watch as Jacqueline, oh, Jacqueline just shot him. No, let's go back. See, folks? She's grabbing, look at that hand. That hand has nothing in it. Nothing in it. Nothing in it. And fingers all the way around his arm. She's holding his arm. And she's looking this way. Now she bends over to see him. And she's still holding his arm. And then he gets shot. Now, I don't know about this whole driver throws a gun. I'm just clicking any video that showed like the earlier footage just so I could show you people that. So now I debunked Universe6807. So now we got him in a couple lies, calling me a Jesuit, promoting Eric Phelps, calling me a liar. After now I've went too far. I've already went too far and showed you that far. Phelps' little network he's on, and for people to say, well, no, that's Nicholas Arthur promoting that video. No, you know what, dude, all these people supposedly just look up to Eric Phelps, and I'm sorry, folks, like if Eric Phelps is looked up to so much, like they say, I'm pretty sure if Eric Phelps would open his mouth and say, hey, this is a disinfo video, let's get rid of it, they would. Or, then you gotta question Eric Phelps' integrity that he never even mentions that on his own, on this news network. So you're gonna compromise the truth just to stay on a network? Doesn't sound like we can trust you. But then again, I've already showed you, folks, in past videos, other lies that Eric Phelps says. See, Eric Phelps is nothing but like another Jose Luis de Jesus. And in case you people don't know who he is, Jose Luis de Jesus. It's this guy right here. Oh, whoa, I like the Glenn Beck video better, because, see, folks, and here's the thing about Jose Luis de Jesus, is that, he claims that he's out to expose the Vatican and everything, but yet he has his followers get 666 tattooed on him. Okay, and here, let me just play a little bit of this. I'm not gonna watch this video because I think it's got someone that's like laughing in the background and stuff that wasn't on the original program. But anyway, this Jose Luis de Jesus guy, I mean, what he basically is just like a Vatican creation. Like, I think he's a Vatican disinfo agent, controlled opposition, whatever. And basically, he just wants to make people like me, who try to expose the Vatican, legitimate people like me, look bad. He wants to make all Protestants look bad. See, this is the Vatican's attempt to demonize the Protestants. Because this guy goes and has his followers get 666 tattooed on him. And things like that. It's just like Eric Phelps has all this racism, white supremacy crap. And it's just to be like, oh man, you bash Catholics, you're a bigot. Like, if you like talk about the Vatican, say anything bad, or say anything bad about, the Vatican having control over CIA, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and all these other departments of government, like most of the time, dude, they even control your police force. They're even your police chiefs and things like that. And so even if you get interviewed, if you happen to be they'll more than likely, if you're a Catholic, you can get on the police force. But if you let it be known you're Protestant, you're probably not gonna get a job there. You're probably not. Because I honestly think they're doing everything they can to even make sure they give like Catholics all the most important jobs. That way, when it comes time to implement any kind of law that might be wrong, you don't have anyone that's going to be like, oh no, I'm not enforcing that. Because see, a police officer is not supposed to enforce an unconstitutional law. There was a sheriff arrested recently in Florida because he let a man go, even though supposedly this man was violating a Florida law, because the man was carrying a weapon without a concealed carry permit. But you can carry, it is constitutional. See, but Florida has an unconstitutional law that says you cannot do it. Well, this sheriff properly recognized that that is a bad law, and therefore it's a felony to enforce a bad law. So that's why he did not enforce it. See, if the sheriff would have enforced this law, he would have been committing a felony. But yet, the governor of Florida had the sheriff arrested. And I'm not sure if he got fired or not. I didn't keep up with the story. But this is wrong. I mean, like, how do you get fired or arrested just because you refuse to commit a felony? I mean, like, but see, folks, what I think they want to do is get as many Catholics as they can, or, it doesn't have to be Catholics, it can be Satan worshippers, atheists, whatever, because, it's like, as long as you're not a true Christian, you're probably not going to do the right thing anyway. You can probably be manipulated and bought. And let's face it, I mean, like, I know, like, the little people in the Catholic Church, like, they don't really know what's going on at the very top. Because at the very top, this is Mystery Babylon. This is all the practices of Babylon and the Catholic Church. All of them. And you guys, that Mary worship, all they did was slap Mary's name on Semiramis or Isis, whatever you want to call her. They just slapped her name on there. You're still worshiping her like she's a god. Because, you know what, folks? No human, only a god can handle millions of people talking to them at one time. 24 hours a day for 2,000 years. Not to mention the irritating, whiny, mindless chatters you hear, like, oh, Mary, I need this, and it's like just the most irritating things you could be praying for, like things you shouldn't even be praying for, and you gotta sit, like, I mean, could you imagine listening to a million people pray like that in like a single minute? Off a million people pray to her in a single minute, because there's like, 6 billion people in the world, about 2 billion of them are Roman Catholics. And I actually think that total's higher, because I really think like there's a lot of Satan worshipers that know what the Roman Catholic Church is really about. And I think they should be counted in that total too. And that's why, they can all vote Democrat together, because the Catholic Church is known for voting with the Democrat Party mainly. They support it. That's why when Ronald Reagan passed the last amnesty, that's why California went from Republican to Democrat. Because all those illegals are Mexicans, and 90% of your Mexicans are Roman Catholic. And Roman Catholics vote Democrat because of the Catholic social teaching. See, this is why you got so much socialism going on in the Democrat Party. This is where you're starting to see socialism in the Republican Party, because the Republican Party used to be just Protestant mainly. And we used to be very hardcore about not even letting a Catholic run for office in the Republican Party. We used to be. And then, you get some fake, and then so the Jesuits would fake, being a Protestant or a Christian of another denomination, like some evangelical Methodist, something like that, Episcopalian, and that's how they would weasel their way into the Republican Party. And I think these like Supreme Court judges who voted for Roe versus Wade, it's like all of them are from ecumenical churches. All of them are from churches where you could see like a video of the Pope, of their church leaders bowing to the Pope. So that shows submission to the Pope. that shows you're giving authority to the Pope. You shouldn't be bowing to him, but they're bowing to him because, you know what, their churches are really under the Pope. And these Jesuits actually control these churches. Yes, your church leadership is probably ran by Jesuits if you're a member of one of those churches seen bowing to the Pope. You know, well, maybe I'll just play that video. Find that for you. Church leaders bowing to Pope. Yeah, right here we go. I'm going to mute it as I talk, but you can see, here they go. Oh, I'm going to bow. He's just standing there. Why isn't he going around? Nah, here they all come. This ecumenical prayer service. And, oh, I'm going to bow to you, Master, Antichrist. I think, you know, in the Bible, he's the Antichrist. Well, not the Antichrist, but I think the Pope's, you know, an Antichrist. Maybe, you know, maybe like the seat of the Pope is Antichrist. Because I read that anti means in place of Christ. So, and so folks, if you, now, this was the Orthodox, I believe. You know, they're probably saying, like, you know, folks, you can go watch this. You can see the channel, the exact name of the video. You can go find, you can go type this in up here if you really, really want to watch this. But, you know, you got Methodists, Presbyterians, and even the Presbyterians on their own website say they're the leaders of the ecumenical movement. You should really go read a book called Billy Graham and His Friends. It really exposes how corrupt this ecumenical movement is. And speaking of Billy Graham, Franklin Graham, you know, is one of those people that push for gun control. You know, and Billy Graham is supposed to be like the leader, you know, like this big, the big one who really helped push the ecumenical movement. You know, here's Franklin Graham, his son. And all these are just fake Protestants. I believe they're really Jesuits. I believe these people are probably all Jesuits. Secret Jesuits, you know, the Catholic Church controls anyway. You know, and them, a lot of their people up under these people. You know, I've just... And this is all done to fool people and control you. You know, you think they're on your side, but they're not. And, I don't know. I think I'll leave this video at that. But I just want to show you that you cannot trust these people that are trying to expose the Jesuits. Not all of them. You know, don't you know, and I'm just showing you folks, like, I get attacked and I get unfairly attacked. Because, like, obviously what you saw from Universe6807, I mean, I busted him twice in one video. And, you know, he's still going to promote Eric Phelps. He'll still be promoting him. He'll probably see this video. You guys, anyone who knows Universe6807, or you know, if you're not blocked, show them this video I'm making. You know, send him this video and say, hey, you know, what do you think about this? And I bet you that guy will still promote Eric Phelps. He might block you. He might block you from his channel. Won't let you ever comment again. Well, I'm just letting you know that going in, because that's what kind of guy he is. He doesn't want to, you know, sit and have a real debate. Doesn't want to really talk. Because, you know, he's an agent. He's a control agent. I mean, that's what I think. Because why would you not want the truth? Why are you doing this? So you're either doing this because you want to be about the truth. So if you want to be about the truth, why, you know, stop communication? You know, when I have not said anything wrong, I have done nothing but backed up what I said. But yet he blocks me, and then he, I mean, like, wrongly states things against me. You know what, maybe I can find that comment real quick. It's on my videos. Actually, I think I got a faster way of doing it. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, it is Bruce Goins. I think that's Universe6807. But it's like, well, I know one thing. That's a comment they made to me. Because see, I said Phelps is a Vatican and Universe6807 is a shill. You know, and this is what I say to him right here. And that's right, you know, these people have nothing intelligent to say. They just say all this stuff. No proof of any of this. But, you know, let's click on Bruce Goins and see who he is. I could swear I saw a picture and it was Universe6807's picture. Maybe not. Who knows who Bruce Goins is? It could be Universe6807. I mean, really, that comment, I've seen comments come from his mouth like that, and that's a picture of Universe6807. I guess, I wonder if this is his channel now. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can see. Now I guess he's called Prophetic Revelation. But as you can see up here, it's Universe6807. Yeah, you're going to bring him, you're going to really be about God, right? You're going to really be about God. You're sitting there, you know, on one of his videos, he actually says, you know, Liquid Smooth's a Vatican, like a Vatican, or something about me being tied in with the Vatican. And I think it's even in the title of the video. I'm not sure where it is. You can search his channel if you want, if you care that much. But, I mean, as you folks can see, I done busted his lie about Jacqueline Kennedy. And I done busted his lie about Eric Phelps being good. You know, and like I said, send him this video that I'm making right now, this particular video. And you'll still see him promoting Phelps. And he'll still badmouth me. That's who he is. And anyway, folks, I'm done.